So welcome you all to our collective calls. We hold on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Today's Tuesday, apparently. And yeah, I'm happy to present three speakers to you, three new speakers that are going to pitch their project and answer the questions. So you know the drill. And for those who don't know, hosting today's meeting, as always, Malika and Ivan. And yeah, we got three projects, as I said before. First is Hacken BD, representing Bryn. Then Ryder, founder at HIO Music, hopefully I pronounced right, or HIO Music, sorry. And Akshay Nasa is going to be joining us later, but he's definitely going to be there. CEO at ChipX AI project. Thanks for coming, and let's start this meeting. I think we're going to start with Ryder. If you don't mind, please be the first one. I'm passing the mic to you. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having us. I'm Ryder Havdale. I'm the CEO and founder of HIO Music. HIO Music has a mission to get 1 billion creators paid. How we're doing that is through music, through incredible tech that ties into the Solana blockchain, and through an awesome team. Galen's joining me, Galen Hogg. He runs NFTO in Toronto and in real life meetup. He's our head of product. There's a dozen people on our team. We've got members of the band NWA, Arabian Princes on our team. I've been in music for 20 years. I toured right now with a band called Broken Social Scene, and I've got a few million streams on Spotify. And when I hit my first million streams, that's when the genesis of HIO started. It was like, did we get paid? There's no transparency. I literally had to make phone calls. And then once you do get paid, you're like, oh, right, this is fucked. Per stream payouts on music streaming platforms just don't work. So on HIO, what makes HIO unique? We are a hybrid. In other words, we'll have the same 100 million tracks that are on Spotify, Tidal, Deezer, Apple Music. Right now, we're at about 6 million. We've got former members of Spotify. The first guy doing Spotify's licensing in the States, Dick Huey, is our head of licensing. So on HIO, you've got your favorite music. Plus, if you want to upload music directly, like you would YouTube, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, or in the Web3 space, Sound.xyz, Zora, etc. When you upload music directly to HIO, you're actually minting to the Solana blockchain. No one needs to know that. NFTs are a dirty word. Most musicians don't give a fuck. But the point is that it actually allows us to supercharge content. Now, with HIO, obviously our mission is to get creators paid, but the other part of this is, most Tidal, Spotify, Deezer, they all pay out on a per stream rate. HIO is 100% going to rights owners. You pay your $10, say you listen to one track by Caribou's getting $10. If you listen to 1,000 tracks, it gets split 1,000 ways. Every engagement on the platform is logged. So that's fiat going in and getting split evenly. It's like, it's 100%. None of this bullshit about, I know we don't need to have time to get into how Spotify works. But on top of that, we just launched the HIO rewards token on Solana. Essentially, if you're inviting friends to the platform, if you're creating playlists, if you're sharing music, you can get rewarded in HIO. And why this is, this gets really interesting when, we've got like Bonnie Prince Billy reaching out to me because he got some HIO. It's his first time in crypto. It's like, holy shit, I got some Tron future money. But anyhow, that's we're out on the Weeks exchange and Radium. And essentially, we raised about 350 on LaunchPads last month. We've built this lean, mean DIY with a punk rock spirit. There's a dozen of us. And we're chasing down our first 100,000 users. We're at about 6,000 right now. And, once we have 100,000 users paying a subscription of $10 a month, that works out to 12 million, monthly fees of $10 going out to creators. How we make our money: merch, physical merch, digital merch, which are essentially digital assets. You can mint NFTs in platform, sponsorships, advertising, and, the token is essentially we're public. So this is HIO. This is the Apple app version. We're live on the Apple App Store. We're live on Google Play. We're live on the world's first crypto phone. One of our earliest investors is Stephen Lucier from Solana. The way that we tie into Solana is unique. And, it's a music stream platform. Sorry, it's a music stream platform. Everybody's got their own profile. Every creator on this platform is part of the is part of it. You can upload records directly. You know, if you want to upload music, you can do so in a minute. And then, you know, the rewards page on this is getting an overhaul. But if you're inviting friends to HIO, you know, listening to music, if you're doing unique things like bands can offer HIO for, checking out their latest album, or if it's a pre-release, and then you can get rewarded in HIO token. So yeah, I mean, that's basically us in a nutshell. And Galen, do you want to add anything?
So yeah, guys, feel free to leave your comments or questions in the chat. We already got one, but let me remind you real quick that we post all the contact details in the chat as well. You can find TG email links in there, so be sure to check it out. So the first question is as follows: is the music turned into NFTs?
I mean, it's a hybrid. So we've got deals with all the major distributors coming down the pipe. So that music, this is what makes us unique from most music NFT platforms, is that we actually have your favorite music. So when you're experiencing the music on HIO, some of it is on the AWS server. You know, the traditional full catalog, 100 million songs, that's on a server. If a band wants to put up a record tomorrow, they're actually minting that to Solana. So it's a hybrid. When you're listening to music, you don't care if it's a WAV file, an MP3, a FLAC, or an NFT. You don't need to know that. NFT is like it supercharges content. It's a container on the content, but who fucking cares? But what's cool about HIO is that we've got some legends like Violetta Veroni, you know, in the Web3 space, who are releasing their music as NFTs on HIO. And we've got your favorite records, because, you know, that's a major for me why would I ever go and listen to music on some of these platforms where, you know, my favorite artists aren't there? So,
okay, really interesting. We got plenty of questions as well. So the second one is like this: any secrets on handling rights, licensing, and payouts with so much new content flowing in?
yeah, so you know, the bulk of the content is getting ingested from distributors. So when we do that payout, let's just say, you know, I'm paying my $10 and I only listen to Caribou. That $10 is going, you know, that is going to Merge Records, is, you know, the distributor on that content. You know, if we've got like something from Fuga, it's one payout, right? They get a full spreadsheet of their payouts, and we send them that in one lump sum. Now, for artists who are doing it directly, we can pay them directly. So it depends on whether the music's coming from a distributor or whether it's been uploaded directly to HIO.
I can just add to that. The music industry is not typically known for being having positive responses to technology. So if we want to play in this ballpark, we do have to play by the rules, as antiquated as they are. And we use on our end with the new artists with their MP3s, we can distribute things very easily. When you do upload as an independent artist, you can actually even just set your splits. So if you don't have a record deal, if you don't have a distribution deal, but you have a producer that needs 10%, you've got a rapper that needs 15% of that song, you've got 3 band members who, you know, whatever the situation is, you can actually do those splits manually while you're uploading, just like a record deal would do for you, with their split sheets. So kind of a solution on either side of the hybrid, but for the traditional music industry, they have their pipelines and they have their ways of doing things, and we definitely have to play ball with those for now.
Oh, that's kind of convenient. I see. Okay, but there's another question that really is kind of interesting to me, at least. So how do you plan to get non-crypto folks using HIO? It's tough to bring mainstream music fans into Web3, I guess.
Well, you know, I work in music, obviously. Like, you know, my life's been music. I tour in a bus with a band called Broken Social Scene to thousands of people, but I've also played hundreds upon hundreds of shows and slept on countless couches. And, you know, we're offering, you know, access to your data. You know, if you're going to go play in Tokyo on Spotify, you have no idea who your fans are. You have to go to Instagram to promote this show, pay $100 to even reach that fan base to try and like get them to this show. Whereas on HIO, you have access to your data. You know who's listening to you. You can, you know, send an email to like all your fans in Tokyo and say, hey, we're coming through. So that's one thing. I mean, obviously a lot of this is on the artist side, but on the user side, a regular user, it's like, there's coming up shortly, you'll be able to import your playlists from Spotify. So the experience is easy. It's the same experience. But on top of that, you have access to those artists. I mean, you can, there's direct messaging going into the app, etc. It's more about community. And so it's like, yes, the niche has been on the Web3 side as we rolled out the token, and it's obviously we have some unique tech tying into the Solana blockchain, but like people need an alternative. There's blood in the water. People are not happy with Spotify. I mean, mostly artists, but you've got everyone from Taylor Swift, Snoop, on down to, little artists who aren't getting paid, right? And, we've got some legends on the team, like Arabian Prince from NWA, the world's most dangerous band. He's our chief innovation officer. He's there because he loves the mission. It's like we need there's a need for an alternative to Spotify right now.
Just to answer more from a product strategy angle, we're very aware that even with an equivalent experience that you get on Spotify with all Spotify's catalog, it is very hard to take users from something that they're used to. And just being an ethical version of Spotify probably doesn't matter to 99% of their users. A strategy to roll in users based on our low-hanging fruit as we build up that catalog and as we build our user base. So one of the biggest gaps that we've talked to artists, and we've heard a lot about what artists need, but from a user perspective, there's definitely a demand for a one-stop shop. And there's a definite demand, as Ryder mentioned, to be seen. So if you're a top listener or a top contributor, and even on HIO, if you're buying, say, pre-sales, if you're buying merch from them, in the traditional world, music world, the artists do not see you, and they do not get access to that information. And connecting super fans to the artists has been a big request, but also having that one-stop shop where you can not only go and post that you're listening to the artist, and that artist will be notified that this is happening if they choose to. Some of the big artists obviously would not like that. But you can also buy their merch in the same place that you're streaming. You can also, that the artist will be, if they want to look and you're a top listener, if you're a super fan, they will be able to access that information, that data, and reward you. So one of the few features that we're rolling out immediately will be the merch store, the social media aspect, and the access to the data.
So basically you are unifying like music platforms and merch selling websites and like kind of Instagram communication with audience into one platform.
Yeah, right now, I mean, Taylor Swift made more money on her traveling t-shirt shop than she did on all of music streaming last year.
Of course, yeah.
The business actually isn't in music streaming, right? We're creating a platform by artists for artists where it's like, allowing them, we're just giving away. I mean, it's like the streaming, fuck it. Like, I don't want to get into the specifics of like, okay, Tidal's going to pay you just an extra little bit on a per stream. It's like, no. Forget that. Like, we're all in 100%. That your $10 is going to the bands, to the artists that you listen to. So that's the easiest sell to artists, labels, distributors, because they're going to see way more on the streaming side. And yeah, I mean, there's huge business around every other piece. So, I mean, we shouldn't even be talking about music stream, but the fact is people love music, right? I mean, that's why we're here is music, but the actual business for HIO is everything circling around that.
Okay, guys, it's super interesting to talk to you. I'm sorry, but we got limited time.
Yeah. Hey, it was a pleasure.
Yeah, we got a couple of questions left, so let's kind of go through them quickly, and end with it. So you're aiming for 1B creators. What's your strategy to keep the platform buzzing with fresh music and growing community vibes? Sorry. I mean,
well, we just hired a new PR company, but like obviously we've got a Web3 cabal, like not KOLs, but like we've essentially a Web3 ambassador program. There's an artist ambassador program. We've got an A&R department who are curating music that's happening daily. And yeah, I mean, essentially now the next step on this is getting this out to the masses and getting in front of people. But you know, just making a platform where people understand that that the users are valued on this platform. You know, like this isn't this what we didn't set this up wanting to set up a big tech company and which industry can we get into? You know, that's like Daniel Ek. The guy never played a fucking note in his life. Fuck that shit. We're here because we've been in the trenches of music and we care about it and we care about fucking artists and making, you know, a unique experience that actually is going to move a dial. I mean, there's blood in the water as far as, you know, the music industry right now, but Spotify's a $97 billion market cap. Okay. Just think about that for 1 second here. Like the low hanging fruit is becoming like, you know, the like Bandcamp on steroids. They don't pay anything for music streaming. But the other piece on this, you know, Audius hit a 2 billion market cap on their token last year. If you've ever tried using Audius, it's not a great experience. Let's be honest. Your favorite music is on there. You know, yes, they have a token that you can bank on maybe, but like we actually have real product live on the Apple App Store, Google Play, and Solana Saga, the world's first crypto phone. We're one of the 40 dApps on that.
Okay, final question. Is this platform mostly for indie or new bands?
I mean, I can't wait till, yeah, it's for everybody. I can't wait till Taylor comes in because but yeah, I mean, you know, Arabian Prince was in a band with Dr. Dre and Ice Cube. Like those dudes are, there's a lot of people looking at this project right now.
Yeah, what I was about to say is that we're getting support from major artists, major labels, because they know that their artists and the rights holders are going to get paid more, and they're pushing it already to their fans that this is the better place to listen. And then we have the indie artists who normally to upload music have to pay a third party onto Spotify to get onto Apple Music, and then they get the bad stream rates. So when they send their fans there, their money is actually going into a pool which goes more to Drake and Joe Rogan than it goes to them. So it's for everybody. The major labels are going to make more money and they're going to draw their fans to us, and then it's for the independent artists who are just getting absolutely rinsed when they go on Spotify. They get the lowest distribution of the pool of royalties.
Okay, so that was guys from HIO. It was a nice talk, guys. Wish you best of luck this year.
HIO Music Forever is us on Instagram. HIO Music app is us on Twitter. Please follow us. It takes 1 minute to sign up. Love to have you on the platform and let us know how it goes.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so moving on, we got second project turning in, and it's Hacken BD. Brent, our speaker, is going to present it to you. So yeah, welcome. Passing the mic to you. Thanks for rating.
Hey, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here this afternoon. I'm trying to post a message in the chat. There we go. Okay, cool. So that's all my links to contact me, and I've prepared some slides. So let me just share the screen with you guys. Okay, yeah, welcome to Hacken. So we are on a mission to make Web3 safer. We are quite an established cybersecurity company in the blockchain space. We have been in business for 7 years, actually, in Web3 cybersecurity, having completed over 2,000 audits, and we've helped to squish over 8,000 bugs with various different projects and protocols. We have over 150 team members. 70 of those guys are engineers working on various different programming languages or cryptographic approaches. We also hold lots of different accreditations and industry memberships, including this ISO 27001. And this year, we're going to open an office in New York City and start to expand our US operations as well. So in terms of who we work with already, we have performed audits on most of the major blockchain ecosystems and protocols. NIA, Radix, VeChain, Solana are some of the biggest clients we have. In terms of partnerships, we're partnered up with Abu Dhabi's regulator. So we help them to assess license applicants to make sure their cybersecurity approach is great. We're part of the European blockchain sandbox as well, with 20 other market leaders in the EU. And we work with Ethereum Foundation and EBSI as well. So when we deal with new projects, there's really nothing we can't cover from a cybersecurity angle. We do smart contract audits, blockchain protocol audits, penetration testing on all types of infrastructure, and we even offer a virtual CSIO service as well. So if projects don't have for a in-house information security officer, they can count on Hacken to perform that role for them. We also have a bug bounty platform live as well. This is called Hacken Proof, and this is a great way to galvanize white hat hackers all around the world to help to protect your code. It's always cheaper to pay a white hat than to pay a black hat, let's be honest. Last year, there was over $2.9 billion in funds hacked from Web3 projects. So it just shows the real necessity. And actually in the chat, I posted a link to our latest security report for 2024. You'll find lots of research and deep data in there that you can reference. Okay, what are we working on right now? So we've launched a monitoring and incident response platform called Extractor, and this allows us to intercept hacks in progress. So it's real-time monitoring of every different chain that it's integrated with, and it's able to intercept lots of different attack vectors, okay? From liquidity draining to burn attacks to anti-money laundering transactions and anti-terror financing transactions, lots of different responses that it's able to do. We're also building a dashboard for regulators to be able to check that projects have this in place. Okay, so right now it's live on 15 chains, mainly EVM. I'm going to show you the product as well. You can go to extractor.live and test it yourselves. We simply add a contract by adding the contractor wallet address here, and we can choose the network here. Okay, so as you can see, lots of EVM chains supported, some non-EVM as well. We'll be expanding that list over the next few weeks. If I go back to my dashboard, I'm monitoring several contracts that people have airdropped me, but I've also got USDT here, the famous stable coin, and this is on Ethereum. If I just head to compliance monitoring, you can see that Extractor's picked up a lot of anti-money laundering transactions. So the Tether team will be able to use this to intercept those people who are on blacklists. In this instance, we have people from suspicious transactions, maybe they've been involved in cybercrime in the past, and it will be able to freeze their ability to transfer assets through the protocol, and maintain compliance. That's just one example of anti-money laundering detector, but we have lots of different detectors, as you can see, for lots of different attack vectors. Okay, and even in the security monitoring section, we have detectors for address poisoning, block reorganization, and this kind of thing. So we can detect changes to contract code, to GitHub repos, from financial attacks, DNS hijacking, all sorts of different vectors with Extractor. And right now we're seeking some equity fundraising for this product development. So if that is interesting to anyone in the call, you have my contact details here. I'm Senior Business Development Manager at Hacken. You can scan the QR code, connect with me on any platform, and I'll be happy to take you through the product. We can, if you're building a product as well, we can build you a dashboard with your contracts, with your wallet addresses that you need to protect. And yeah, if you're generally interested in the topic of cybersecurity, get in touch. We've got lots of research and deep dive data. Cool. I think the time is just pinged. So
yeah, right, spot on.
And nicely fit into 5 minutes.
Okay, so
I will leave this up.
Let's get to Q&A. Already got one question, so yeah, let's waste no time in it. As you're targeting a 150 mil revenue opportunity by 2029, how do you plan to stay ahead of emerging threats in the rapidly evolving Web3 space?
That's a brilliant question. So we do constant research into security trends. Obviously, we have a huge client list. We're constantly monitoring what cybersecurity events are happening. And with tools like Extractor, we are adding new detectors on an almost weekly basis, actually, in response to different attacks. So you might remember recently we saw an address poisoning attack on a Bitcoin whale, so hence why we added the address poisoning monitor there. More recently, we're seeing that lots and lots of scam domains are getting launched when, with regards to the recent bull market and the better market structure, we're seeing these kind of scammers from the last cycle come back and start setting up scam domains. So right now we're looking for ways to protect protocols against that as well. And we work with lots of partners around the world. So when we see that a project has got a particularly good product that could be built into an Extractor detector, we integrate it in. We already work with Global Ledger on their blacklists. So where you can see these addresses, which have been flagged for anti-money laundering and cybercrime, those are directly coming from our Global Ledger integration.
Great. We'll receive just another one. Let me read that as well. You've partnered with big players like Binance and Revolt. What unique challenges do you face in scaling security solutions for such high-profile clients?
Yeah, so specifically, Binance is an interesting one. We did their proof of reserves, and we we discovered a critical issue actually with their ZK approach. So within our team, we have cryptography specialists, and actually now we're looking at post-quantum cryptography and how do we respond to quantum computers coming online. We're seeing that more projects are integrating, post-quantum cryptographic methods like fully homomorphic encryption or garbled circuits. And for me, we want to be the first ones to be able to audit that stuff, right? So we have very world-class cryptographers on our team, and when we meet those clients, we build the team specifically around their product. And this approach helps them to get the robust cryptography audit that they need first before their blockchain protocol or before their DApp, before their smart contract, because the cryptographic primitive comes first. So we've dealt with many of those types of clients, and I think we're going to see that market sector expand significantly over the next few years with quantum compute.
Yeah, definitely. There's a third question in the chat as well. With Web3 security becoming a top priority, how do you see AI transforming the compliance and auditing space, especially with your focus on DORA and MiCA standard?
Yeah, okay, so that's kind of two different questions, but the AI, we use AI extensively. Extractor uses AI extensively. We build, for example, every audit that we do, we build fuzz tooling and invariance testing models. So fuzz tooling is essentially bombarding contracts with random inputs, like a sort of Web3 DDoS attack. Invariance is testing numbers that shouldn't change, like circulating supply, this kind of thing. And we use AI extensively to perform those testing before we go to audit. With regards to DORA in the EU, so DORA is a huge cybersecurity compliance challenge for critical infrastructure within the EU, right? So it's not just covering Web3 or AI, it's covering all sorts of financial services, supply chains, medical, anything that could be considered critical infrastructure. It's a response to nation-state cyber attacks. It's a response to the cybersecurity approach of many companies in the EU not being good enough. And it's also transnational as well. So anyone that would like to do business with EU citizens and residents that meets the criticality requirements now has to do a pretty thorough assessment of their entire system. So Web3 native projects are used to looking at getting their smart contracts audited, getting their pen test done and going to market. But now they have to look at their entire ecosystem, their third-party service providers like us, their API network infrastructure. All of these moving parts need to be considered as part of their security system. They've got to do a risk assessment, an incident response plan. That document preparation we expect takes 6 months around for most projects. And then yearly they have to have threat-led penetration testing. So this is where you have a red team and blue team of defenders trying to break into products. And really, to be DORA compliant, you need a tool like Extractor for monitoring. You don't want to have to manually report every time someone tries to interact from a blacklist with your protocol. So that's another angle that Extractor is useful for. I actually taught a workshop on DORA compliance last week because the regulation came in on the 17th of January. I'll happily share that in the chat after I've finished with this section.
All right, thank you for responding to the question. So I got a question. So cybersecurity is not my stronger side, but I've been wondering, who are your main competitors in this field?
Yeah, it's a good question. So we're not the only cybersecurity company in blockchain, although we have a very broad approach when it comes to what products and services we offer. Probably main competitors will be Certic and Hellborn, actually. And then there's more bespoke houses, security researcher houses that do more specific types of audits, where it's advanced cryptography or a particular blockchain. Whereas Hacken, we're a big company, we've audited lots of different protocols with lots of different programming languages. We have advanced cryptography, we have a bug bounty platform, we have real-time attack prevention on Extractor. So we can combine those products. And one of the best examples actually of how we do that is called dual defense. So we actually, I'm going to show you because it's easier to show rather than tell. We actually combine our audits. So when you have an audit with Hacken, we do it in real time. So you can get your product to market faster. You're going to be able to action the issues. But then when we complete the audit, we launch a dual defense because we have the bug bounty program. So we take some of the revenue from the audit and put it into a bug bounty pool. Okay. And then we have our own token community. We've had a token on chain for years and years. And our token community, they stake in these pools to help to secure our clients' products. And for 30 days, it's become a gamified bug bounty. So we have this huge ecosystem of 35,000 white hat hackers all around the world. They try to find critical issues. If they find a critical issue, they're going to win the prize. They're going to win the pot. Okay. If they don't find a critical issue, critical bug after 30 days, then the stakers win the reward pool. So it's just a gamified way. Essentially our clients get 2 audits for the price of 1, which is fantastic. And not only that, but the yields are very good, up to 180% APY. So it gets their project aggregated to the top of the DeFi leaderboards, like right as they're about to launch their product. So it's been very popular.
Wow, that's great that you've described. It's really interesting. It's all that stuff, really kind of inspiring. But another question that came into my mind right now. So, do you have any strategic partnerships and advisors so far? Because I might have missed that.
Let's go back to this slide. Maybe this will help to jog your memory.
Thank you. Yeah.
In terms of, we have hundreds and hundreds of partnerships, maybe thousands probably at this point, with all sorts of different service providers. But the big push for us right now is to work with regulatory bodies. So the regulatory landscape is changing all over the world, whether it's getting very strict like in the EU or it's very open like in Dubai. But there is particular checkpoints that you need to tick off if you want to get a license there. So we are working with those regulators that want to update their crypto laws, and make it easier for projects to build there. And what our part is to collect the information about their cybersecurity approach, present that to the regulator and say, okay, these guys have had an audit, these guys have had penetration testing, these guys have got a real-time attack prevention platform live. They've ticked every single box. Maybe you can give them a license.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. Now it's clear to me at least.
Not really. Yeah, thanks, Bryn, for the pitch and for all the explanations. It's really interesting, and yeah, you're like big guys. Everybody knows you, so yeah.
Totally incredible. Yeah, I'm still impressed.
Well, thank you for having us, guys. It's always good to present this stuff to new communities. If anyone wants to connect with me, there's my link tree there. You can shoot me a DM. Probably Telegram is the fastest and best way.
Yeah, absolutely. And just for the case, guys, if you want to get in contact with us and have an opportunity to pitch here next week or so, we got also the Google Forms you can fill in and be our next guest. There's a form of participation in the chat right now, and we also collect some feedback, so we're happy to make our show better, so please do that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you, everybody. It was nice to see you again. Thank you a lot, Bryn and Ryder. It was super happy to have both of us, both incredible projects. And yeah, thank you, Malika, for conducting this call. See you next time.
Thanks so much, guys, for having us. Appreciate it.